Early ballots go out on Wednesday. Voters will get the chance to weigh in on a state law expanding Arizona's voucher program. In 2017, state lawmakers passed a law gradually giving more students access to Empowerment Scholarship Accounts, or ESAs. Those are public funds students can use for education-related expenses. A yes vote on Proposition 305 allows that the 2017 law take effect. A no vote voids the law and maintains existing requirements. We asked Arizona Daily Star education reporter Hank Stephenson about pushback surrounding an expansion.
I think most people are looking at the Empowerment Scholarship Account expansion as just simply fewer dollars available for public schools, and that's the real concern.
Now, initially these were intended for children with disabilities, foster kids, military. If this expands, does it open the umbrella to cast a wider net for a variety of students?
Yeah, it would allow every student in the state, or I guess I should say any student in the state no longer having those restrictions of, being disabled or a military family or going to DNF schools. This would allow it to be anybody could apply, but there's still a cap in place on how many of them would be given out, and that cap will continue to grow over the next couple of years. And this is something at the Capitol, the cap was a compromise, and it's a compromise that many people viewed skeptically, that there will be a cap in place for the next couple of years, and once we hit that cap, if we hit that cap, it'll just be removed by the legislature. And so it would open it up to all 1.1 million, or continually increasing the cap as the program becomes more and more successful, or more people are trying to take advantage of it.
Now, in stories like this one in agencies, it's not uncommon for there to be a rotten tomato that just taints the whole bunch. There are families who are benefiting from this. We heard Governor Ducey mention that this last week during a debate. What is the argument for the families that say the dollars are following the child to his or her education? Why is that frowned upon?
I think, even a lot of Democrats will say that we don't want to get rid of this program completely, that, under limited circumstances for students who really can't get a good education in their neighborhood school or a school, a public school around their house, be that charter or another kind of traditional district school, that we need to have some kind of an option to provide them with the chance at an education that suits them. I haven't heard anybody in a very long time talk about getting rid of this for disabled kids. And I've been asking people on the campaign trail, especially Democrats, as we're talking about, most of them are against expanding it. So the question kind of becomes, should we get rid of it altogether? And nobody says that anymore. A lot of people have kind of come around and seen the good that it can do for those students that really need it. But they're saying, look, if we just start giving it to everyone, there's going to be nothing left for the traditional public schools.
Did this movement gain or lose any steam following Red for Ed this spring?
I think that Red for Ed and Save Our Schools, the campaign opposing the initiative or opposing the referendum, the voucher expansion, I think that they've been feeding off each other. So Save Our Schools came first. This referendum started last year, and there was a big push. It was a very grassroots thing from a couple of people who had been at the Capitol, teachers, parents who wanted to oppose this, and kind of got together a group, were miraculously able to get the number of signatures they needed in a very short time frame in the middle of the summer. It's very hard to force a referendum on a law that the legislature passes. They did that, and I think that kind of the Red for Ed movement saw that and said, hey, look, this may be a good time to strike while the iron is hot. And vice versa. I think that a lot of the people who started with Red for Ed kind of said, oh, there's this other Save Our Schools anti-voucher initiative going on that maybe they weren't aware of before getting brought into the fold with Red for Ed. And since the Red for Ed initiative, Invest in Education, has been kicked off the ballot, I think a lot of people, teachers, activists who are kind of in that crowd are focusing their energy on the No on Proposition 305 campaign. And honestly, I would be shocked if that passed, if the law was upheld. I've talked to a lot of Republican lawmakers who at this point are saying, well, I voted for it, but now that it's on the ballot, I don't necessarily support that law.
Okay, Hank, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, Lorraine.